Hello everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is a short video to introduce my partner, Katarina.
Hi.
And we are doing this video because we are taking her to Gauteng to fly to Slovakia for the first time in 9 years. So without further ado, I'd like her to introduce herself so that you know who you're speaking to and how she came to be in my life. Katarina.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Katarina Kryžaňová. I will be 33-year-old in few months, actually 31st March. I come from Slovakia. I'm the middle of the three sisters. I spent most of my life living on 11th floor on something that you would consider skyscraper, the smaller one in a suburb in Slovakia, close to capital Bratislava. And to try to tell about my life, from small child, I had different perception from others. Like I could feel I've got like, I don't see it the same as others see, and I don't feel like I fit in so well with others. And I was always kind of the best student at school, so much so that my primary school teacher, she said after year and year of giving me the best student award, she said she needs to give it to another boy just so they don't feel unmotivated. So I always had dilemma, or I felt like I need to suppress my brilliance or my gifts because the kids will not like it, or well, I had all kinds of influences in my life. But before I was started being influenced by a communistic regime, let's say directly like through school, I was very creative as a child, and I always kind of dreamed, or I felt like I'm a detective, like a super spy, and I always loved learning and studying so that I can understand things, because often I didn't make sense of what was considered normal. So I was always looking for truth and for something that made sense to me. Since my IQ is very high, when I was in primary school, I hated the school, so my physical father Yuri suggested to go to see if they admit me to gifted to special school for gifted children, so that I can have more like relate to someone who thinks, or who has more brain power, let's say. So I was actually passed the exams, and they said my IQ was 144, which is considered genius. And but they didn't have a place for me at school. So anyway, I never went to the school because I needed to go the normal path. I always felt like I need to experience what others do. Alright, so honestly, I grew up in communistic country and in a home full of fear. So I was, from a small child, I was actually, because I'm a hypersensitive individual, so that was diagnosed by few psychologists, that I am very sensitive individual, kind of like empath, that I absorb others' energy very much. So all the fear of my mother, no, I think anyone like it. Anyway, again. Alright, so things like all the emotion, negative emotion and fear, or whatever very negative or harmful, if it's depression, or if it's even my parents' secret desire, or anyone I meet, I could kind of like read most of the time what they expect of me. So I always try to please teachers or parents or whoever, and then I started losing myself. And then I even ended up in child psychiatry when I was 16 years old, because I actually went to school which I hated, which was one of the best schools in Bratislava, capital of Slovakia, not because I wanted, but because I felt like that's expected of me, because my dad had red diploma and he comes from smart family that and there's a long story of all the influences, but shortly I was just doing things to please others and I neglected my real self. But actually, deep inside, I always only desired to be my true self, and I always desired to find true, like Buddha, when Buddha said, hey, I don't want to live in this golden palace where I've got everything I need and I don't really see life. So in 2012, I decided to go one-way ticket. I felt depressed and scared, and because after high school I felt lost. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. I went for just really shortly. I tried like Japanese university, journalism university, or communications university, and I even forfeited all the money because I was just trying to please my dad once again. So anyway, after guidance of my cousin, Michael and his girlfriend, they suggested to go as a volunteer through a worldwide organization for organic farming, which I did despite all my fears. It was very challenging and I didn't have a clue where I'm going. I actually thought, well, anyway, I first thought of Thailand, then something told me I found Hippo Haven by local artist Mandy in South Africa, and I just knew in my head, yes, that feels right, like yes, I got it, I need to go there. So I only chose to buy one-way ticket because I already knew in my head I needed to find my home and start from zero. If it's a toilet cleaning or whatever, I just knew, hey, God, show me where to go. I don't have a clue and I'm just open arms and I don't want to decide. I just need you to tell me because I already don't see anyone else get answers. And I saw people chasing the diplomas and jobs and girlfriends, boyfriends, and changing them, and I always only have one wish to have uh, to meet my prince, which I wrote down in Prague in tea house when I was there for like a preparation for a psychology university for 1 year. I once went to like a beautiful tea house there, and I was writing down according to book from Abraham Hicks and Abraham whatever, I don't know. I was writing down my wish list and I believe that it's gonna come true, but there where I was, I just said like I want to live by the water. I said I want to live by the sea and run barefoot and like all the things. I felt like, hey, where is the sea? There's no sea anywhere close to me. So like in my spirit I knew like that's my dream, but I was so far from that possibility. I felt like, oh, I'm stuck with my parents, I'm got this attachment thing, like I don't know how to detach from my mom because she likes to take me everywhere with her because people like me or because they're gonna give her some special or whatever. So I found it like, I don't know, I just from my heart said I wish to find my prince who's gonna love me as much as I love him. And this prince I met after I came one-way ticket on a marathon, mini marathon, 21 Ks. I was like much fatter, 72 Ks. So I was like a little hippo. Yeah, I was calling myself Hippo Katie, and my blog was called Wonder Katie because someone persuaded me not to call it Hippo Katie because it looks a bit sounds a bit silly, so it ended up to be Wonder Katie's blog, and I was blogging about all the wonders of my life, and I had lots of like chaos in my head, lots of different influences and voices, but I always believe if there's a will, there's a way. There's also a book that I won of one of our ex-presidents, premier in Slovakia. So anyway, I went one-way ticket, like I greeted the unknown, and I didn't have a clue. I actually felt like there's maybe just few whites, and it's just all black, and I don't know, like donkeys or something. I didn't know there's civilization, because we never even
White donkeys.
we never saw it. Even as I thought of it later, I actually never remember seeing any news of South Africa ever. That's why I didn't know. I watched lots of news, documentaries with my father Juraj, also my mom. They like documentaries, but I never remember like someone says about showing whites or cities. So I was actually surprised there is civilization and cities almost like kind of like ours, yeah. So I came here and
You got a surprise that it was more civilized than you thought.
yeah, I got big surprise. And I got only 1 month permit. Yes, 30 minutes because I didn't have, I had one-way ticket, so they didn't want me to stay, so they gave me only 30 days. But when I was by the volunteer Mandy, when I was by my host Mandy, who is a brilliant artist, and who welcomed me as part of her family, for what I'm very grateful, and who also inspired me to draw my first huge zebra painting, which will be shown to you later. It symbolizes the uniqueness of all of us, like each one of us is unique like zebras. We all zebras because it's like a fingerprint. All of those got their own pattern and none of it repeats, so we all are as unique as zebras. Anyway, so I came, I overstayed a little bit my Mandy and other volunteers, and I connected with people in the village, because I came to a very small village on the Elephant Coast, Sadvana Bay, which is a fishing village. My groom used to say that.
Fishing and a diving village.
Now he used to have this joke like, Sadvana Bay is a drinking village. No, that was the other way. Sadvana Bay is a fishing village no, now I lost it. You say it. Which way around? Drinking village with fishing problem.
It's a small drinking village with a big diving problem.
Is that how it was?
That's the slogan. Yeah.
Thank you. So I was with Mandy and I met many people and other volunteers from all over from USA, from Netherlands or wherever. And then I met hippos on the Hippo Lake. They came to see me, and that was really awesome, exciting, because I really love hippos. And then after, I arrived 13 September, and it was before my permit was expired that I met on this mini marathon my groom, Andrew Martin Slade, my prince that I wished for. I didn't know at the time. My heart knew, maybe, but I met him on the race, and he asked me, would you like to translate, or he just told me, like I could see from how he spoke that he cared, like he was saying, oh, people shouldn't drink these cold drinks because there's so much sugar, and he's not drinking any of it, it's full of shit. And I felt like, yeah, I'm also like that. I actually got donated or got given a big bottle of water from on airplane because I didn't want anything else. I was just drinking water. So I thought, oh, that's cool. He's thinking similar. And even the host Mandy said, Katie, you and Slade, you think so alike, or you are so alike. But I think she actually said you think so alike. So then I felt, oh, now I'm really excited to come meet him and get to know him, because I know I'm so cool and special. So he must be so as well. Anyway, I knew from before I came that something was calling me and something was God. And my host even told me, Kate, you've got freaking angels looking after you. I don't even think she believed in angel, but because she saw how I was protected on my journey, that I didn't know the dangers with the black males here, because there's lots of rape, baby rapes and stuff like that. I didn't have a clue, so I was just walking around, whatever. I was like naive. I was trusting that God's gonna look after me, so I wasn't worrying about it, I guess. Anyway, so then we met, and the rest is history. he invited me to help him with his project, a very important project. He asked if I would translate letters. He called it letters that time, it was his blog post. And I said, sure, I would love to translate them. So then, because my permit was over, on 8th, 9th, 10th October, which was still, my permit wasn't over yet, I tried to go to Richards Bay. I went to Richards Bay. No, I went to Durban. Anyway, I approached Home Affairs to help me with to permit. I approached Home Affairs to help me get my permit to stay here according to their law, because for me I didn't really care, because I knew that I've got guidance and God and it's a spiritual matter. I knew that very well, but it was required. I mean, the volunteers and other people told me, don't worry about it, Katie, there are so many illegal immigrants, like no one's gonna worry about it. And I felt like, oh, alright, they're telling me, but it's gonna be my responsibility, my problem if I do it. But I decided anyway, let's do it, because I feel I'm at home. I felt actually at home here. So I tried, and Andrew Martin Slade, the author I met, he gave me a letter about the book he written called Where to From Here. He had already two books written, so he gave me Where to From Here paper to say that he needs me for the project, and he's gonna protect me, or he's gonna roof me, and he's gonna look after me while we're working on this project, because it's ultimately important. So they did totally refuse me and say, go to Slovakia, go sort it out there. I said, oh, I'm not going to Slovakia, I'm here already. And he asked me, so I just thought, fuck them, or what. So I arrived to this same house, that is my home, on 11th November 20...
Yeah, what's behind us is in our center court, in our house.
Yeah, there is a beautiful bright place that Andre designed and manufactured himself, because he is an excellent mechanical designer.
And that's the pool over that side, and it's a courtyard inside with 5-meter walls around. It's very private, and we've spent 9 years reclused in this house.
Yeah, so 1st November we came together, me as a volunteer, and he started showing me his blog post called neanderthalblogspot.com, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah, neanderthalblogspot.com, yeah.
So I started doing neanderthal2.blogspot.com.
Yes.
Yeah, I started translating, but it wasn't easy, because his information was not like recipe for a tomato sauce or something like that. It was like high level of intelligence required to understand all the information and all his findings, and it was required.
It was the Tesla blog.
Yeah.
Where we published the Tesla 369 code.
Yeah, he told me he cracked Tesla 369 code, and I was like, wow. And since then I stayed, and I was committed to help him get the message, and look at what needs to be done, and help him, like, work with him as a team to do anything I can to help him with all my skills, all my superior logic and intuition and all that, to help him, because I felt like no one understood him, or even people in the village thought maybe he's crazy because of the spiritual things he was dealing with and he was describing. And I always loved God, even though I was never brought up to believe in God. I just felt in my head, like when I was looking in Slovakia, going in the bus and seeing all the ugly cities and all that, and I felt like no one can anymore save this world other than God. It needs to be something supernatural, like I can see it. So it's very exciting journey. That was 9 years ago, 9 and 3 months, and now.
Yeah, then we started writing the book together after 2 years together. We wrote the book Where to From Here, Cognition. Published it in 2014, and we called it the Book of Revelation 10.
the book of absolute truth.
So, now after 9 years, she's on her way back to Slovakia for the first time. And
Why?
she spent 8 months in jail because she was an illegal immigrant. We both got tried and raked over the coals for illegal immigration.
No, I'm not an illegal immigrant, but
Yeah, everybody knows you're not an illegal immigrant because it doesn't exist. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
That's how they felt.
The government, which we are currently, or we've been for years actually, I will not say finding.
Opposing. We're just opposing their governance. That's all. We're not fighting with anybody. We're just opposing the government.
Yes, we've got evidence for state capture. Like, we know who's responsible for state capture, which is a big thing, and a whole question mark in South Africa, like who did all these crimes and all the corruption. So we try to submit our application to Constitutional Court, unsuccessfully yet, but now Andrea already mentioned that we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, but we're not fighting the government. We're not fighting blacks as per se. We're not fighting really anybody in South Africa. We're fighting we are fighting the lies that are above of them. We are fighting for the truth to be exposed. And that's the main objective. Is to take the crookedness or the wickedness out of governance, and there's only one way to do that.
So, so why am I going to Slovakia suddenly? Like, they're gonna say, like, why is she going? Because I never wanted to go. I was scared because I was in jail and they tried to evict us. They actually said we are evicted, but they never came here because
we had a 2-week notice.
Yeah, because God was protecting us. Like, they said, oh, someone even commented on some article, like, it seems Andrea, this man can do whatever he wants, or they can do whatever they want, and nothing happens. Like, what's going on? God connection.
So why are you going to Slovakia?
Why? Well, that's an interesting question. It was very spontaneous and totally surprising, or that was a big surprise for me, or shock how I'm going, because my younger sister Nela wrote on Facebook, like, when was it? This Wednesday. No,
last week Monday.
Last week Monday.
Come to my birthday party on Saturday.
She said to me, hello Kachenka, I'm gonna be 30 now, it's my birthday on Saturday, and I would really love you to come here for my birthday party. That would be a beautiful gift. And when I read it, I felt like, oh, that really warmed my heart, because I was always close to her, and I came to say to Andre, I was like, no, I'll just need to explain that it's not possible for me, but I felt in my head, oh, I'd love to feel her dream and be there with her, because we spent a lot of time together, and then I just said, I would love to help you feel your wish, Nelka, and thank you so much, but I cannot because I think they wouldn't allow me back, and because I don't want the corona vaccine. I will not take it no matter what. It's against my belief. And then she says, after I said, no, I'm not coming, then she was persistent and she said, come. And then said more times, maybe 3 times, she said, come, you will be able to come back. And as I noticed, the message was sent by her 1544, and we in this time already learned that there are some universal codes or some guides from angels or from universe to confirm when something's supposed to happen. And 44 means like go for it, or this is the God's way, that something is happening according to God's will. So then I said to her, alright. Now that's strange because I never thought of going there. I thought I'm really stuck here. I couldn't have, I had no permit, I couldn't have a credit card, nothing like normal people probably are used to. I've got my credit card, or I've got my car, or whatever. I always was here like a little refugee or something.
Yeah,
it felt like, I knew it's not like that, but it felt like, I was in jail, and then I can't start the company or something. I always need to go through Andre. which is fine, but sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't have South African ID, so it's restricting my freedom. So then she said it, and then I realized, alright, this sounds like it's a spiritual message there, and I always listen to angels, and I said, it sounds like maybe angels and Yah, which is the name of the God, I said to her, it sounds like angels might want me to go because you send it 44. And then she said, oh yeah, so you're going? And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going. But I was more receptive, but it was so super fast. She wanted me to come like in 3 days notice, and her boyfriend said that would be a miracle if that's possible. But anyway, there is the paperwork and all kinds of stuff, but she already booked the ticket. That's like crazy because I have a big fear of, always had, let's say. So I'm not negatively talking myself, cursing myself with word spelling. So I always used to have fear of separation. That's why I was unnaturally attracted and attached to Andrew. Like I always followed him, or I felt it difficult to do my own thing because it comes from the childhood when I didn't feel like I could detach from my parent who was more codependent. So for this is big thing for me. Like we never were apart other than when I was in jail. In all 9 years we were almost all the time like non-stop together. So it's a separation trauma is coming up. And I just received essential oil from doTERRA for who I'm working as an agent. And because there was one blend that contained essential oil hinoki that they researched or read that this oil has been proven to help the rats in lab with separation anxiety when they are separated from their mom or parents. It just helps them. So I just said yesterday in bed, I said to Andrea, oh, I'm got this oil and I'm gonna use it because there's this oil to help me with how I feel, because I start feeling all this coming up now, because it's like in 2 days we need to fly. I need to fly, and I feel like it was quite shock, or yeah, it's still shocking because it's like, oh, it's so spontaneous. It doesn't almost sound like me because I tend to overthink everything. Like you could tell you about it. I want to overthink everything. But yeah, and the little essential bottle is called Northern Escape. I said it to him yesterday, like, oh, do you know what is the name of it? Northern Escape. He says, how ironic. I said, exactly, it's so ironic. Like I'm escaping to North, and the bottle to help me with this separation trauma is that. So anyway, that's very interesting.
All right, so really you're going
we
to
don't
be
know. Yeah,
you're going to be away for as long as what it takes.
Yes.
And we will do our application to the Home Affairs through the Swiss Embassy, and all the paperwork needs to be sorted out for tomorrow.
Or whenever.
Yeah, because we're leaving on Monday morning.
I don't know if tomorrow or Monday. Maybe.
Well,
how do you feel about it? So it's a bit hurtful.
I don't know, me, I've always got my head busy with something, so I'll keep busy, catch up with the things that I haven't gotten to for so many years. And
Does it emotion?
well, who wants to be alone? I mean, really.
That takes vulnerability.
Who wants to be alone? Nobody wants to be alone, so it's something I was used to before you came, because I was celibate and single and reclused for 4 years before I met you. Yes, I'm going to miss you, Katarina. I'm going to miss you. That's the bottom line, but I'll be very busy.
What you gonna be? I'm gonna miss you, because I'm allowed to miss my other half, they say, because it's part of me. Oh yeah, we are what you might have heard of as the twin flames, or twin spirit, or half spirit, the other half. It comes from the Bible, where the Bible says about men and women. Adam was created, and they were split in two and they become one flesh, so no one can separate them. And these describe actually Atlanteans or people with blue eyes, because as research shows, blue eyes are not of this earth. Brown eyes are resident here. There were only brown eyes. So we actually, I was making attempts to come to South Africa to meet my prince when he had spiritual conception. That was a big thing. And yeah, he'll gonna tell you about it.
On
Surely.
the 31st of August 2012, at 10 o'clock at night, I had a spiritual conception, which changed my consciousness, but I've spoken about it before.
You have already?
Yes.
Alright.
So, anyway, now you know a little bit more about my partner, and
I miss you also.
so now the big question is the project that I've been working on, that you've been watching through the YouTube channel, which is the generator.
Yeah.
And the generator is running at the moment. It had some problems. We had to wait for more spares and had to rebuild the thing once or so because of little errors that I've made. But it's running now again, and it's at the stage now where I go to the next level,
And
which I will explain to you at the machine, and we will move there right now.
And it's super exciting, so hold on to your seats. He's awesome.
We will see.
Yeah. I'm very curious.
So I think let's move to the workshop,
Yes.
seeing as it's so dark outside here already, and we will set up the cameras there quickly and carry on with the interview.